Okay, the rhythm we did. Just a reminder. So one suggestion on approaching this is breaking this down into mini progressions. So basically, practice bars 1 and 2 together. When that's comfortable for you, practice bars 2 and 3. And then practice bars 3 and 4. And then practice bars 4 and 1. And once you get all those, then putting them all together is going to be a lot easier. So, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll count off 4, and then I'll do bars 1 and 2, and then just like I mentioned. So here we go. Bars 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. Bars 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 4. Bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, and bars 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 1 and 3, 4. Okay. Now the whole thing. Actually, first, the other thing you can do, I believe talked about before, is just tap and count the whole thing. That can also help put the whole thing together. So I'll do that now. So count off 4, and then I'll just tap and count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, and 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, and. Now I'll play the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, and 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, and. All right. Now the bend stuff. So the first one, we have the B string and G string. Your index finger will be on the B string the whole time. You will be bending the G string with your ring and middle finger. When you do this, you pick both strings, but only bend the G string. Your first finger needs to stay still. Now you're going to bend slow enough so you hear the bent string go up, and then you hear the notes come together and sound like one. Let's see if we can hear the wave a little better with some distortion on. So, didn't really help, I don't think. There we go. So that's the wave I was talking about. So right there, that's kind of how it's going right there. Try and get it closer. So there, that's kind of how that one's going. So it's a lot closer, so it's not waving as much anymore. So yeah, the goal is to not have that wave in between the notes happen anymore. Another thing you can do to check on the notes is go back and forth between each string as you bend up slowly, so you can hear how the notes change as you bend until they come together as one. Alright, so I'm just going to run through them now. Alright, now the next bend thing is the same idea. Now you're just going to have the E and the B string. So you're going to hold the high E with your index finger. You're going to bend the B string with your ring and middle. So starting off on 17 and 20. So same idea. Alright, and the last thing we did, the very old school rock riff. You're going to bend with your middle two fingers, and then you're going to bar the E and the B string with your index finger. And don't leave it down the whole time. You're going to go back and forth between the two fingers. So here we go. So one thing I'm doing, there's a bit of muting going on after I've bent that G string up, so this way I don't hear any unwanted noise when I let go of the G string and go to the bar chord here. So it's just going to take some practice there. So I'm just kind of muting real quick before hitting the bar chords. And that at the end is just what you did on the previous part. And other things we talked about when working on the scales, just for right now, try working on just one. So get that A minor scale memorized first. Really get that solid and comfortable playing it without looking at the paper before you move on to the next shape. And then make sure you can play both of those before you move on to the third. So, something to keep in mind. You know, it's definitely not a race to try and get all of it done, you know, as fast as possible. But you will learn the scales faster if you just focus on one at a time. And then we also talked about practicing this stuff to backing tracks. So just look up A minor backing tracks or C major backing tracks. And various styles out there. A lot of them are going to be blues, but you can look up rock ones. You can look up metal ones as well. And yeah, I always had a lot of fun just practicing to playing over other songs, playing over backing tracks. And that's how I got familiar with the scale shapes more than anything. So, yeah, I am taking off on the 13th. So, if you have any questions, just hit me up before then. And then you and I will meet back on, I believe, the 21st. Let me double check. Yes. So, Sunday the 21st, we are back on regular schedule. Alright, well, best of luck to you with everything. You'll get it. I know you will. And, yeah, see you the 21st.